Yeah, no,
There's nothing we can do about it.
I don't have anything to do about it.
Okay,
And then, um, yeah, that's great.
He was one of the marker guys,
Yeah.
the yard markers.
Being here until like 7.
Because then I can
Just go get him, walk him back. Is that okay with you? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Now you know what you
Hey there. Good to see you. Okay, thank you for joining us, everyone, tonight. We are here for the McClintock High School Principal Forum. And also thank you to those in attendance and for those of us watching on YouTube. Good evening to you as well. Our principal search process has been designed to maximize feedback from the community and allow everyone multiple opportunities to participate in the selection process. Surveys were sent to staff members, students, and families. The themes of those surveys were elevated to the interview committee so that members could consider the input as they listened to candidates, ensuring that the feedback from the larger community continued to inform the selection process. Your voice is essential, and we appreciate your participation in this process tonight. At the conclusion of this event, a QR code will be displayed on the screen for attendees to take one final survey and provide their thoughts on the final 2 candidates. Submissions are anonymous, and survey results will be reviewed by the superintendent in advance of the final interviews. So at this time, I'd like to welcome our 2 finalists, Ms. Lisa Ginn and Mr. Mark Gorman. And we're going to have our questions in alphabetical order, so we're going to start with Ms. Ginn. And Mr. Gorman will join us later. And then we'll get microphones live. Okay, so first question. Please briefly introduce yourself. What are your qualifications and why do you want to be the principal of McClintock High School?
Well, hello, good evening, everyone. And those of you out on Facebook, it's good to be here. It's a privilege to be here, actually. I grew up in Tempe, right at Ruland Southern. I'm a product of Tempe Elementary and Tempe Unified School District. I graduated from Tempe High School and then went on to ASU for 4 years. Go Devils. And then I went right back to Tempe High School, where I began the first 12 years of my teaching career, mostly as a science teacher, but then later avid physics and some other subjects. I had my introduction to leadership there at Tempe High School. So it is great to be back here. I call it, I had to leave mom and dad's home for a little while, as I was raised right there at Tempe High School. And so I went out and experienced the world. And I would love to come back to Tempe Union and give back to the very district that raised me and shaped me to be who I am today. I mean, it's no secret, I was a Buffalo for a long time, so we are rivals, but we're all products of Tempe Union. And so I would be thrilled to be back here to lead you in the excellence that's already been established at McClintock High School. Everything from your Peggy Payne Academy to your excellent academics to your A letter grade. Congratulations. I would be thrilled to be back here and lead you onto your next adventures and even more bright things in your future. Oh, wait, I didn't tell you my qualifications. Oh, wait. There's more to just going to Tempe High School. So then from there, I have been a principal for 7 years, 5 years at a charter school, and then 2 years at a high school in Apache Junction. So my heart was in the public school districts, and that's why I returned to public school. So I've been a principal for 7 years and got my master's from Northern Arizona University. I hope that, covers qualifications.
How will you build camaraderie, open communication, and a culture of trust with staff, students, and families?
All right. So that's all going to start with communication and having an open door policy, allowing parents, staff, and even students to come in and visit and share concerns. But above that, people are, I believe that we are today looking for transparent leaders. You want me to tell you the truth, what to expect, and what I expect from you. So I would be that leader that would have that open door. I love people. It's a part of who I am. And so trust has to be earned. And so it might take you a little bit of time to get to know me, but it's through me communicating with you openly that you would, hopefully I would earn that trust. So the camaraderie is we have to have fun together. We have to spend time together and we have to have fun. Education is a tough field to be in. It's tough for teachers, for all of us, and it's even tough for kids. So we need to laugh together. And I really believe that with all my heart. One of my favorite leaders, Mr. Mark Islas from Tempe High School, taught me that you have to laugh every day. You're serious when it's time to be serious. But really, we're going to have fun, potlucks, we'll play games together, really get to know each other so that we're a family and we grow as a family together.
How will you be visible as the next principal of McClintock? Please give examples.
So I believe the principals should be out on campus as much as they can. So from the start of the school day, greeting students, greeting faculty, going to classrooms, making sure everybody's ready for their day. At lunchtime, absolutely go out, rotate, and greet students. Same with the end of the day. But then one of my goals is to be in classrooms every single day. And it's not to gotcha or catch anyone doing anything wrong. It's for coaching. How can we grow together? What did you think about that student there that put their head down? Do you think we could get them awake, talk to the nurse, or what are our next steps? So I'm going to be out. I'm going to be at events. I'm going to be the biggest cheerleader at the sporting events. I'm very loyal to my teams. And so I will be out in the community and with you during the school day.
How do you address student behavior in a fair way?
Student behavior in a fair way is you have to be consistent. You have to follow your guidelines, or hopefully you have a code of conduct. And there's always going to be some room for grace. But if you're being fair, then you're going to follow those guidelines every time, regardless of what it is and how severe. You just hopefully it's outlined for you. You want to hear from the kid, hear from the teacher, and be really fair in how you deliver those results every time. It's hard not to have favorites today. We love the kids, and I know they pull on my heartstrings, but in order to be fair, you have to deliver those consequences evenly.
How will you ensure that McClintock is a student-centered campus and the social and emotional wellness of students is supported?
So to be a student-centered campus, you're going to listen to the students. You have to be out there and hear what their needs are. You need to have a student advisory committee and hear from what's going on campus. What are their concerns? Maybe we change the bell schedule and it's just not working. You have to be willing to hear from the students and what their needs are. You have to be willing to look at your data and see what the data shows you. Kids are really struggling to get to first hour every day. So now let's look at that as a team. Keeping the kids at the center is seeing what they need and responding to those needs. Now, I'm not saying every kid needs to sleep in every day, right? But they might, we might need to look at a bus schedule or something that's causing those tardies. Now, social and emotional wellness is we need to check in with them. Hopefully there's going to be a system or program in place where they have one known mentor on campus that checks in with them for their well-being. And we need to have ears out. If a student is hurting, we need to refer them to a social worker or a counselor. And most of all, just listen to them. More than ever, kids want to be heard and valued, and that's what I'm here for. I'm kids first. I wouldn't be any good at my job if I didn't care about teenagers and their lives.
How will you enhance the learning environment and school identity?
So enhancing the learning environment would be, first of all, looking at all of the great things that are already being done. You don't become a school on happenstance. So there's some good work already happening here. Looking at it and see how I can support the systems and structures that are already in place. What do teachers need from me to help them get even better at their jobs? Do they need professional development? Do they need coaching? Where can I support them in their academic excellence? And then what was the second part?
And enhance the school identity.
Enhance the school identity. That's the Charger way is to really honor the traditions that have been here for years and years and be a part of them, and continuing to support the students and staff with the areas in which we're already excelling. It all looks great from the outside looking in, but I'm sure there's stuff we need to work on, right? But it looks great from out here.
And then finally, is there anything else you would like to share with the Charger community?
Well, it would be an honor to be here and to lead your high school. Like I said, I'm not born, but raised right here in Tempe. It's where my heart is. My heart is with the students here. I was raised right there, like I said, at Rural and Southern by a single mom who often struggled, and so I can relate to the students and what their needs are. I can talk to them about my own experiences right here in Tempe with them, and really I'm just here for the kids and for you all and to support you. It's more important than ever that you know that you're cared about, just like the kiddos.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ginn.
Good evening again. All right. So the people on YouTube can hear you. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, if you want to take it off. Okay. So first question, please briefly introduce yourself. What are your qualifications and why do you want to be the next principal at McClintock High School?
So again, Mark Gorman. I have been in education for over 30 years now. I grew up in a family of educators. Most of my extended family, friends of family were teachers as a result, and really influenced me to be the teacher and administrator that I am today. My career has taken me from small town, Miami, Arizona. I grew up there, Globe, Miami, if you're from there. And so grew up there, worked there for about the first 5-6 years of my career, and then decided I wanted to go the admin route. And so it resulted in me moving to the Valley. I went to Northern Arizona University, where I picked up my master's and my admin license. Was working at a middle school at the time, and then transferred up to Bradshaw Mountain, where I was an assistant principal. That was my first opportunity to be an administrator. Was there for a few years, and then my wife and I relocated to Colorado. We decided to try something a little bit maybe out of the norm, if you will, and we went to Colorado. I spent most of my time in the Aurora Public Schools school district, and was an administrator there, assistant principal, athletic director. And then in 2013, our daughter was attending Arizona State. We were down here all the time. We just decided, due to family being here again, and wanting to be here rather than up there, decided to make the move back. Worked 6 years at Barry Goldwater High School in the Deer Valley District. And then the last 6 years, I have been at Wickenburg High School as the principal. I've worked for some amazing leaders in Aurora, in Deer Valley, and now out at Wickenburg. I can attest to a lot of different things that they've helped me to refine and become better with as a leader. McClintock High School, I think, is a perfect fit for me. It's a diverse school, first off, and most schools that I've either grown up attending or worked in as a teacher or have been an administrator in have been very diverse communities. And so I appreciate, I respect, that's me. That's who I am. I'm somebody that's the setting I need to be in. I feel like, to thrive as an administrator. McClintock is that. I mentioned this morning in the interview that there's so many things that are happening here that I feel like fit my skill set. You have the teams that were brought in as for your freshman groups, and that's something that I brought and started up out at Wickenburg. Something that I'm passionate about. I feel like, having taught in a middle school, having been an administrator of middle school, that concept of what we're trying to do with middle schoolers applies to what we're trying to really do in that teaming piece at the ninth grade level. Trying to create a transition where they can find success, where they are able to make connections, where there's a smaller group that's really helping to support them to find success, because that's where kids struggle. That's where they fail. And when they don't graduate, it's often pointing back to whatever they did or didn't do as freshmen. So the more we can build them up, provide them support, get them success at that level, the more likely they are to graduate. So there's so many other things, the rich traditions that McClintock has, 60 years of excellence. To me, growing up, when I turned on news, I heard stories about McClintock High School. To me, when I saw this job, it was one that it lit up for me. It was definitely something that excited me.
How will you build camaraderie, open communication, and a culture of staff, and a culture of trust with staff, students, and families?
That really starts just with transparency and communication. I mean, I want to have an open door where people feel that there's opportunities to come see me, talk to me. If they want to meet with me for any reason, I want them to know that it's an open door. And that's for staff, that's for our students, and that's for our parents. So I've got to be able to let them in so they can get to know who I am as a leader, who I am as a person. And so I want to help facilitate that as much as possible. But it also is me being out. It's not them coming to me. So one of the things I did at Wickenburg is our offices were located probably about 100 yards from where most of the kids were on campus. And so I relocated my office to a spot in our academic building so that I could actually be there in the middle of our campus, and I could get out and I could greet teachers. They'd see me in the halls. Kids knew where they could find me in the halls, and just became that much more visible and present around campus by moving that office space into the building. So I want to make sure that I'm transparent, I'm open, and they can find me and they know that they can talk to me. But the other piece then is communication. We want to make sure that information's getting to students, information's getting to staff, and information's getting out to parents in the community of what's up and coming, great things that are happening, get them onto our campuses as often as possible so they can learn more about the amazing things that we're doing. And so creating opportunities for that, such as this morning I mentioned a couple of them I brought out to Wickenburg. One is I have a Wrangler Success breakfast. And so we, coaches, certified, classified, any staff member across our school can nominate a student that demonstrates respect, responsibility, or resilience. And by nominating them, they're automatically going to receive the award. And so they get an invite, parents get an invite, they come in before school, we have breakfast, it's prepared by culinary, and we celebrate them, give them a certificate, talk them up. But we also talk about our school and the amazing things that we're doing across our campus. So that's an opportunity for us to get that information out to our parents and the community. It gets them in, and it's often hard to get parents to come into events. They seem to come to elementary schools, but it's much, much more difficult at the high school. But when you invite them to come in and celebrate what their kids are doing, total game changer. They want to do that. And so they've come in, we celebrate them, gives me an opportunity to talk to them, and they can see the amazing things that we are doing on our campus. We, obviously have newsletters. All schools, I think, have newsletters that go out. We have monthly that go out from counseling, from admin, and we're just trying to bombard them with as much information as we can so they know exactly what's happening. They're kept in the loop, and they're able to stay abreast of exactly what's happening on our campus. So those two things I think are key.
How will you be visible as the next principal of McClintock? Please give examples.
I'll go back to just what I tried to do, and I said in that last question, I want to be out in hallways and I want to be in classrooms. So being able to manage them and then have resources and tools to change that behavior too is important.
How will you ensure that McClintock is a student-centered campus and the social emotional wellness of students is supported?
Sorry, can you repeat it one more time for me?
How will you ensure that McClintock is a student-centered campus and the social emotional